The media has been lying to you about American corporate greed, and the World Cup just proved it. Because when the final whistle blew, it wasn't politicians or celebrities who made Europeans burst into tears in the stadium. It was the brands. The 2026 World Cup was supposed to be America's embarrassment. A country that doesn't understand football hosting the world's most sacred tournament. European media spent 2 years priming their audiences. America will commercialize everything. They'll turn football into a shopping mall. They'll ruin the purity with brand activations. Sponsorship saturation will suffocate the beautiful game. The narrative was set. American corporations are the villains, faceless, greedy, incapable of genuine celebration. Then 5 million international visitors arrived across 16 host cities, from Los Angeles to Boston. And they discovered something the European press never prepared them for. American brands don't just sponsor celebration, they invent it. FIFA projected 3.5 billion global viewers for the tournament. American corporate sponsorship exceeded $2 billion across official partners and local activations. The numbers were massive, but the experience was intimate. And that contradiction broke something in the European psyche. They arrived bracing for a commercial assault. They left, well, let me show you what actually happened. Starting with the first thing that shattered their expectations. It wasn't the stadiums, it wasn't the food, it was the welcome. Section 1. The brand welcome. When a corporation treated you like family. In Europe, a brand sponsorship means a logo on a banner. In America, it means a stranger in a Coca-Cola polo shirt walking up to you at the airport arrivals gate, handing you a free ice-cold drink, and saying, "Welcome to America, sweetheart." That's not marketing, that's a cultural rewiring you didn't know you needed. Here's what brand interaction looks like in Europe. You attend a Champions League final in London. Brand presence means fencing, security guards, VIP lounges you can't enter, sponsors exist behind velvet ropes, you see the logos, you never meet the people behind them. The experience says something. We are the brand, you are the consumer. Remember your place. Transactional, distant, purchase, receipt, goodbye. Now here's what happened at World Cup 2026. AT&T provided free international SIM cards at arrival gates, no purchase required. Coca-Cola handed out commemorative bottles with "Welcome to Dallas" printed on the label. Nike set up pop-up customization stations. You could get your country's crest heat-pressed onto a jersey, free, no catch. The experience said something entirely different. You're our guest, and guests don't pay for the welcome. A woman from Ireland landed in Houston at midnight. Exhausted, disoriented. A person in a Budweiser shirt approached her, handed her cold water. "You made it, honey." She had been in America for 6 minutes. She almost cried. Anheuser-Busch deployed 15,000 brand ambassadors across 16 host cities. Coca-Cola's welcome program distributed 2 million free beverages at airports and transit hubs. These weren't vending machines. These were human beings, making eye contact, saying your name wrong, meaning it anyway. Compare this to UEFA Euro 2024 in Germany. Official sponsors maintained branded VIP zones. General fans received 0 free welcome products. The brand was visible, but invisible at the same time. So, here's the question. When was the last time a European brand gave you anything for free that you didn't earn through a loyalty card, 12 purchases, and a QR code? Why this actually happens? American brands operate in a consumer market of 335 million people. Lifetime customer value can exceed $10,000 for a single loyalist. That free soda at the airport costs 30 cents. It converts a German tourist into a lifelong Coca-Cola evangelist who tells 50 friends about what happened at the airport. The ROI makes venture capitalists weep. Europe's market is fragmented. 27 regulatory regimes, 24 languages. No single European brand can amortize hospitality across a continental audience the way an American brand can across one unified market. The math simply doesn't work for them. But okay, free drinks at the airport. Maybe that's just smart marketing. Then they walked into the stadiums, and the concept of brand experience became something else entirely. Section 2. The brand cathedral. When a retail store became a pilgrimage site. You know what European football fans visited more than the Statue of Liberty during the World Cup? The Nike flagship on Fifth Avenue. And here's the part that broke their brains. There was no entrance fee. In Europe, a brand store is where you buy things. The Adidas shop on Oxford Street is nice, clean, organised by sport. The Nike store on the Champs-Élysées is polished, tasteful. You walk in, maybe buy shoes, you leave. It is a retail transaction dressed in good lighting, nothing more. That's not what Europeans found in America. Nike's New York flagship became a World Cup museum meets theme park. 68,000 square feet across 6 floors. Full-size replica of the World Cup trophy on a rotating pedestal. Augmented reality stations where you could take a photo with your national team's star player. A full indoor 5-a-side pitch on the top floor. Fans played pickup games while waiting for custom jersey printing. Coca-Cola's Atlanta headquarters opened a World Cup pavilion the size of a football pitch. Free admission. Interactive history of every World Cup since 1930, a tasting room with over 100 international Coke varieties. Budweiser built temporary beer halls in every host city. Each seated 5,000 people, each designed by different local artists. Each featured a stage with live music. Each was completely free to enter. Combined attendance at those beer halls, 2.8 million visitors. A German fan went to the Nike store planning to buy a USA jersey. He stayed for 4 hours. He watched a football match on the roof. He designed his own boots in a digital studio. He met a former USWNT player who was just there, signing autographs. For free. He didn't buy the jersey. He's still thinking about it. Nike's Fifth Avenue flagship reported over 40,000 daily visitors during the knockout stages. That's more than the Metropolitan Museum of Art. McDonald's deployed over 200 pop-up football park locations, mini pitches, free training sessions for kids, and critically, free Wi-Fi and charging stations. Now compare this to Adidas's Euro 2024 Berlin activation. 8,000 square feet, operated by appointment only, VIP prioritization. Would you rather spend an afternoon in a store that wants your wallet, or a store that wants your soul? Why this actually happens? American retail operates under a completely different economic premise than European retail. Square footage is cheap. Labor is flexible. Zoning is permissive. Average American big box retail rent sits at $18 per square foot annually. In central London or Paris, equivalent space runs $150 to $400 per square foot. A European brand simply cannot afford to build a cathedral on Regent Street. The math doesn't work. An American brand builds 68,000 square feet on Fifth Avenue. It treats a third of that as free public entertainment. The brand equity generated by 40,000 daily visitors, each posting geo-tagged content to their home audiences, offsets the cost within a single quarter. The store is a content factory disguised as retail. The physical spaces were overwhelming. But something even more disorienting was waiting for European visitors, and it happened on their phones before they even left the stadium. Section 3. Digital dominance, when American brands' social media made European marketing look like a library. Whisper. Within 90 seconds of the final whistle, Nike posted a victory video. It was already trending in 47 countries. Adidas, the official FIFA partner, took 22 minutes, and their post was a photo. European brands treat social media as a broadcast channel, scheduled, sanitized, approved by 3 committees. American brands treat it as live theater, reactive, irreverent, willing to post a meme within 60 seconds of a controversial penalty call. European corporate social media during tournaments is predictable, match result graphic. Congratulations to the winner. Photo of athletes in branded gear, posted 30 to 45 minutes after the event. Legal and brand safety teams must approve. Safe, sterile. Forgettable. During the World Cup, American brand accounts behaved like sports commentators with unlimited budget. Wendy's roasted a referee's VAR decision before the replay finished airing. Walmart posted a split screen. European football celebration on one side, polite clapping in a pub. How we do it in Texas on the other. Parking lot tailgate with fireworks. 4 million views in 12 hours. Nike released a 90-second film within minutes of the final. It stitched together fan reactions from all 16 host cities, set to a custom score, ending with the tagline, "This is football now." Not an ad, a cultural artifact. And it cost more to produce than most European brands' entire tournament marketing budgets. A British fan found himself checking Walmart's Instagram account every hour during the knockout rounds. They were funnier than the BBC coverage. He hated admitting it. He admitted it anyway. American brand social content during World Cup 2026 generated an estimated 14 billion impressions across platforms. Nike's tournament strategy involved over 60 content creators embedded in host cities. They produced real-time reactive content, no approval chains, just a war room with lawyers on standby. European brand content during the same period. Heavily pre-produced, minimal real-time reaction, zero memes referencing officiating controversies. Google Trends data revealed something strange. Searches for Nike World Cup video exceeded searches for World Cup highlights in 12 European countries during the semi-finals. Think about that for a moment. People were searching for an ad instead of the actual football. If your brand's social media team needs 3 committee approvals to post a meme about a handball, are you even participating in the culture? Or are you just standing outside the party holding a press release? Why this actually happens? The American digital marketing ecosystem operates on a fundamentally different legal architecture. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act shields platforms from liability for user-generated content. Speed is rewarded, caution is penalized. American brands maintain in-house social war rooms staffed by creators, not corporate communications professionals. European brands operate under the GDPR, the Digital Services Act, individual national advertising standards authorities, each with pre-clearance requirements, each with penalty structures for misleading or offensive content. A Wendy's-style meme about a referee would trigger investigations by the ASA in the UK, the ARPP in France, and the Deutsche Verberat in Germany simultaneously. The result isn't just slower content, it's a fundamentally different relationship with the audience. European brands talk to consumers, American brands talk with them. Digital speed, physical scale, fine, but there was a deeper layer to this. Something Europeans still haven't fully processed. It's not just about what the brands did, it's about what the brands believed. Section 4, Brand Patriotism. When corporations loved America more loudly than any government ever could. Here's something you'll never see in Europe. A corporation weeping with national pride on international television. And meaning it. European corporations maintain a careful distance from nationalism. Patriotism is suspect. Flag-waving is tacky. Corporate identity stays neutral. When England reached the Euro 2024 final, British brands released tasteful graphics. Come on England, restrained. The St. George's Cross appeared in muted tones. No brand wanted to seem too nationalistic, too jingoistic, too American. The fear of being perceived as uncool overwhelmed the instinct to celebrate. America had no such fear. Ford ran a 60-second spot during the World Cup final. It was essentially a love letter to the American worker. Assembly line footage, small-town football pitches, a Vietnam veteran saluting a flag, zero mention of any vehicle until the final 5 seconds. Budweiser's campaign didn't center the beer, it centered the fans, the volunteers, the stadium workers, the immigrants who built the host cities. Every ad closed with the same line: "This is who we are." Not "this is what we sell." This is who we are. Coca-Cola produced a short film about a Mexican-American family in Houston. 3 generations, watching football together, switching between English and Spanish, eating tamales and hot dogs in the same meal. The brand logo appeared once, in the final 3 seconds. Walmart's World Cup content barely mentioned Walmart. Instead, it featured interviews with employees who had emigrated from World Cup nations, talking about what it meant to watch their home country play in their adopted country, crying on camera, their co-workers hugging them. Authentic? Maybe. Calculated? Absolutely. But here's what European visitors couldn't reconcile. The calculation didn't make it less real. Why this actually happens? There's a structural reason European brands can't do this. Most major European brands are multinational by necessity. Their home market is small. They depend on cross-border sales for survival. BMW sells more cars in China than Germany. Adidas generates more revenue in North America than Europe. A German brand doing a love letter to Germany ad alienates its French, British, and Polish customers. An Italian brand can't wave the tricolore without losing its German market share. American brands have the opposite problem. The domestic market of 335 million people is so vast that most American corporations can build an entire business model on American consumers alone. Ford can make a film about American workers because Ford doesn't need to sell trucks in Milan. Walmart can cry about immigrant employees because Walmart doesn't have stores in Stuttgart. The insularity looks like patriotism. Really, it's market structure, but the emotional effect is the same. European visitors watch these ads in American sports bars, surrounded by Americans who stood for the national anthem before the match, who cheered brand commercials like they were part of the pageantry, who didn't separate commercial from culture the way Europeans had been trained to. And something shifted. The brands weren't intruding on the football. The brands were the football. They were part of the celebration, part of the national identity, part of what made the World Cup on American soil feel like something entirely new. A tournament hosted by a country unashamed to love itself. Out loud, in public, with corporate backing that made it feel less like advertising and more like national testimony. Europe has beautiful football culture. It gave the sport its soul, its history, its sacred rituals. No American brand activation can replace the feeling of a 100-year-old stadium in Buenos Aires or the roar of the Kop at Anfield. Those things are irreplaceable. They should be. But America added something those traditions never had. Permission to be proud without apology. And a corporate apparatus willing to fund that pride at a scale no European brand can match. That combination, unabashed patriotism plus unlimited budget, produced an experience that left millions of European visitors with a feeling they couldn't name. It felt like America had been waiting for this moment. Not just the World Cup, waiting for them. They came expecting soulless commercialism. They found brands that acted like hosts, stores that functioned as museums, social media that felt like friendship, patriotism that looked like love. The European media narrative had prepared them for a transactional hellscape. What they experienced was something closer to an embrace. Calculated? Of course. The entire American economy runs on the mathematics of emotional connection. But here's the devastating truth. The calculation worked. It worked so completely that thousands of European fans returned home and found themselves doing something unthinkable. Following American brand accounts on Instagram, longing for the Walmart experience, missing the taste of a free Coca-Cola handed to them by a stranger in an airport. They went to America expecting to be sold to. They left feeling like they'd been welcomed into a family with a very large marketing budget. And that confusion, was it real? Was it marketing? Does the distinction even matter? Is the most American thing of all. Would you rather experience football in a country where brands stay in their lane, tasteful and silent, or in a country where corporations build you a cathedral and call it hospitality? Share your answer in the comments below. Like this video so YouTube's algorithm knows real-world cultural content deserves to be seen. Share this with your friend who still believes American corporations have no soul. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next dissection of what actually happens when cultures collide, not what the media tells you happens. Disclaimer: this content is based on personal experiences and publicly available reporting. It does not represent official positions of any organization and does not encourage illegal behavior. Individual experiences vary.